Hi, this is Catherine from In the Pink Designs, and my project today is this Halloween box that I was inspired to make when I saw these pumpkin brownies. They are from Little Debbie brownie pumpkins, and this this die cut from Nested Label Dies reminded me so much of this pumpkin, so I had to do something with it. I used Have a Hoot stamp set, Peek-a-Hoot dies, and the hollow magic dies for the bats, and layering circles for the moon. Okay, so I started with a piece of basic black that is 7.5 by 6 3/4. Okay, got my Simply Score. And we're going to score the 7.5 inch side at 3/4, 3.5, 4.25, and 7. And I switched to the 6 3/4 side, and I scored it at 3/4. Ugh, jumped. Oh well. 3/4, 5.5, and 6.25. Alrighty, let me see. I'll just push it down just a little bit. Okay. At least it's on an edge. All right, so now I'm going to fold and burnish. All righty. So let's see. I'll flip it this way with the skinny end on this, the right-hand side. This is what we want to do. Okay. So we'll start with the lower right-hand small triangle, and we're going to take that out and wedge up the piece above it. And then we're just going to keep the rectangle straight and wedge in on the little squares, just a little bit. Okay, and now to figure out which flap you want to keep. Okay, now this is your skinny part. That's going to be your connector. Okay, so your seam is going to be back here. So this is going to be your front. So you want this flap so that the little finger hole isn't on your front. So we're going to keep this one. So we're going to get rid of this flap and these pieces next to it. Oops. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to cut our flap straight on both sides. Okay, and these are going to be our little flaps that we fold in, the side flaps. So you can either wedge them this now, but if it's too hard for you to gauge, because sometimes it makes it a little bit different to gauge from that far where you're going to hit the corner. You can just snip off the top part first before you do the wedging. See, like this, or you can just wedge with it on there and snip it off after. Okay, and now we want to round our edges. I have the Detail Trio Punch. You just fold anything that's in the way underneath. Okay. Alrighty, and then we want to take just any small circle punch, so we don't carry them right now. I'm just going to take a finger hole out of the place that doesn't have the front flap. Okay? Now, to put the box together, I'm using some tear and tape, which this roll has lasted me forever. So I'm just so partial to tear and tape because it lasts so long. It's a one extra step from Seal Plus, but I like it. I can control it very easily. It tears off quick. So does the Seal, but I'm more partial to this. They both work good. All right, so now this is our back. So we fold in the side tabs, fold the back first, and we put some tear and tape on this one. And this one I put as close to the edge as I can get it. Okay. All right, and then it will fit closed and it will open easily with the little finger hole. Okay, now I took a piece of the plaid tidings paper and it is sized 4 5/8 by 2 5/8. Okay, and we'll use our seal. And I prefer seal over liquid adhesive if I can. Sometimes I have to use liquid adhesive, but I do prefer the seal. All right. Now for the decorations. I have a whole pile here that I've already done. Okay, I stamped and cut out from Peek-a-Hoot stamp set and Peek-a-Hoot dies the Dracula owl image. Out of basic black cardstock and Daffodil Delight, I used for the moon and a little backing with these layering circle dies. I cut 3 bats out of the Halloween Magic dies. And this is, I believe, the second largest stitched nested label dies. Okay, and I stamped the entire image. I stamped the entire image on Whisper White and then just cut this out. And then I stamped the entire image on the label and I stamped from the same stamp set, Have a Hoot on Halloween Sentiment. Okay, also from Peek-a-Hoot dies, I cut out the 2 branches. Okay, so now we're going to color. And I used Crumb Cake for the owl, which you could use Smoky Slate too if you wanted a gray owl. And I'm going to use the dark one. And I'm going to go on the little lines in his feathers. And then I'm just going to go right around the outsides and where like the cape meets and where his wing meets his body. And then I'm going around the whole upper outside and just kind of in between his eyes and around his eyes. Okay, and then I just come in with the light crumb cake and just kind of blend the edges of it together. Okay. And for his cape, I used light and dark pumpkin pie. And I'm going to put just some light right down the middle. And it won't lighten it up that much because I'm going to go over it with the dark, but it gives it just a little bit of a variation. Because when I tried to just do the pumpkin pie on the outer edges and blend in, I don't know, I'll show you. It looked just a little too light for me to like it. I guess that's pretty good. I'm gonna leave that like that. Okay, and I used daffodil, dark daffodil delight for his feet. Which you really can't see, but I put it in anyway. All right, and that's our owl. Now for the branch that's on here, I always say shaded spruce for this because it's also SS, but it's not. It's soft suede. Okay, and I think I just used dark soft suede. I don't think I used the light. We don't need to do the owl because we're going to cover him over. Okay. That's it, coloring. Okay, now I just used some liquid adhesive for the moon. This liquid adhesive bottle has lasted me forever too, the Tombow. I got it so mucked up I had to take the label off. And I thought, oh, it won't last too long. Oh my goodness, it's still hanging on. All right, and then I just put the moon right on with the glue, liquid glue too. And then I just kind of covered over the owl, but I kept it inside of the stitching lines. Alrighty. And then I put some dimensionals on my owl. Oh, I missed the whole side of his scarf. Since it's in the back, I'll do this in all dark pumpkin pie. Okay. And let's see. And then you just put it right over where it would go. Okay. All right, now for the branches that I cut out, on this one, if you noticed, I put them underneath, then I couldn't stand up the box. But I don't know if it's your preference. I don't know if you would want it. I just want to do it for pictures. But I think I'm going to put this one up a little bit higher and kind of let the colored ones show through. Oops, but it has to go behind him still. All right. And then this one, what will we do? Because I really didn't want it to hang low. So maybe I'll just kind of put it like that so that it stays low. So it stays pretty much on the label. It has to go under him. All right. Oh, goodness. I ripped it right off. Okay, so I finished with the branches. Now I am going to mount it onto our box. I don't know. Every time I say box, I remember of that commercial. It used to be, I don't know if it was for Pizza Hut or Little Caesar, but it was one pizza and one box. Just forget it. Nothing. Okay. So, sorry for that little walk down memory lane. Okay. And I'm just going to center it best I can. Okay. And then we have our bats. I'm going to use liquid glue for this too. And what I did was I just keep my finger on the body and I push up each wing. Okie dokie. I'm going to put him right like that. And the little guy, there's a small, a medium, and a large. Put him over here. And then the medium one, I'm going to put over here. Okay. And then I have to bring in my Wink of Stella for the bats. Make them sparkly. I think we have black shimmer paper that you can use too, so you don't even have to do this. You can just cut them out of that paper to start. But Wink of Stella is nice. It dries pretty quickly. Okay. Now we can put in our brownie, and there's a bunch of room. You can put stuff on top of it, but what I do is you could either put in these Kool-Aid Pop Rocks, fit in, or regular Pop Rocks fit in too, or a lot of other different candies. You can put 4 candy bars in there. Alrighty, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, please click the like button, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And I will link all of the measurements and supplies down below. I will link my blog, and all the details will be over there. Thank you so much. I will see you next time. Bye.